There is a kind of darkness that does not scream. It doesn't break doors or crash windows. It doesn't raise its voice or wield a knife. It whispers. It smiles. It comes dressed as a friend. It knocks not on your door, but on your psyche. This darkness is not an external force. It is people, walking, breathing, seemingly normal, who carry within them a sickness of spirit, a disorder of character, and often they don't even know it. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist and philosopher, once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. But what happens when the reaction is poisonous? What if the very contact corrupts you?" Jung warned us about certain types of people, not in the language of superstition, but in the sober understanding of the human soul. And if we look at his insights through the lens of Stoicism, we find something deeper, a blueprint for inner survival. We are not here to judge others, but we must protect our minds. We are not here to run from darkness, but we must not become its host. This is not a list. It is a reflection, a guide for those who walk the Stoic path, a path paved not with emotion, but with control, not with fear, but with fortitude. Let us begin. Dangerous Person 1, the eternal victim. There is a kind of person who does not seek solutions, only sympathy. No matter what happens, they are always the victim. The world is against them. Every boss is cruel. Every friend is disloyal. Every stranger owes them something. Jung called this the identification with victimhood, a dangerous psychological fixation where a person's entire identity is forged in their suffering. They need their pain like others need air. Without it, they are no one. But to the Stoic, suffering is a crucible, not a crown. We all suffer, but the way of reason is to rise, to take what happens, break it down, and rebuild it as strength. Epictetus was born into slavery. He did not complain. He mastered his mind. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, buried children, fought plagues, and faced betrayal. Not once in his meditations did he use pain as a weapon. The eternal victim does something different. They manipulate empathy. They become addicted to being rescued, and slowly, they drain everyone around them of energy, of clarity, of peace. If we do not protect ourselves, we become their rescuer, then their prisoner, and finally, their mirror. We must walk away, not from compassion, but from the performance of suffering. Because what we tolerate, we become. Dangerous Person 2, the manipulator in disguise. Some people don't lie with their words. They lie with their smiles, with silence, with favors you didn't ask for, with truths they choose to leave out. Jung recognized these people as masters of psychological control, people who feed not on violence, but on your willingness to trust. They use charm like a cloak, and before you know it, you're no longer thinking for yourself. But how would a Stoic face such a being? The manipulator is often polite, helpful, attentive. They remember your weaknesses better than your strengths, and they always bring them up when it's most convenient for them. They offer advice, but it's never really advice. It's soft coercion. They'll frame it as love, loyalty, duty, or kindness, but in truth, it's a leash. Marcus Aurelius said, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." The danger here lies in subtlety. The manipulator doesn't confront you, they steer you. They make you question your instincts, blur your values, until your own mind becomes a foreign land. And this is where Stoicism becomes a weapon, not of aggression, but of clarity. To the Stoic, the only true control lies within. If another can shift your mind, they already own your future. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, taught that the wise man is free because he does not need anything from those who can betray him. So we guard ourselves, not by building walls, but by strengthening the foundation. Ask, who is influencing my decisions? Who benefits from my confusion? If the answer keeps circling back to someone else's approval, you are not in control. They are. Let the manipulator go. Cut the rope they threw around your neck while calling it love. Not with rage, not with revenge, but with something far more frightening to them: indifference. We move forward, onward to the next danger. Dangerous Person 3, the Chaos Bringer. There is a kind of person who seems to carry a storm in their very skin. Wherever they go, disruption follows. They break routines. They shatter calm. They love to shake things up, not for progress, but for attention. They wear unpredictability like armor, and they confuse drama with depth. To Jung, this is the psychic arsonist, the person addicted to burning down order because chaos makes them feel powerful. They want to see you react. They want to pull you into their storm because then you're not thinking, you're surviving. And people who are surviving are easy to control. The Stoic lives in the opposite direction. He trains his mind like a soldier. He understands that chaos outside is tolerable only when there is order within. The chaos bringer loves to provoke, but provocation only works on the unprepared. Seneca once said, "We should always allow some time to elapse, for time discloses the truth." This is why the Stoic pauses. We delay the reaction. We do not throw oil on fire. We watch, we observe, and then we act calmly, rationally, and rarely in the way the chaos bringer expects. These people despise stillness because it reveals their emptiness. They dread boredom because it threatens their mask. So they stir the waters, hoping you will drown beside them. But we do not stir. We settle deeper. We become the stone at the bottom of the riverbed. Avoid those who thrive on disorder. They will infect your rhythm, and your rhythm is your life. We move forward toward a more sinister force. Dangerous Person 4. The mirror of your weakness. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." Not all dangerous people are loud. Some are just familiar. They reflect the parts of you that you have not mastered. They validate your excuses. They reinforce your self-pity. They don't attack you. They agree with your worst impulses. Jung spoke often of the shadow self, the part of our mind we repress, our envy, our anger, our fear. And sometimes we find people who are not threatening in the traditional sense, but they are devastating to our growth. These are the people who make it easy to stay mediocre. They'll say, "You work too hard." They'll joke, "Don't be so serious." They'll nod, "It's okay to give up." They seem kind, but their kindness is lethal because they ask nothing of you. And when you're surrounded by people who don't challenge you, you stop challenging yourself. A Stoic must stand on the battlefield of the self. And anyone who encourages retreat is not a friend. They are a sedative. They might not betray you, but they will slow you, numb you, trap you in the amber of just enough. We must walk with those who sharpen us, not soften us, because ease is not peace, and comfort is not purpose. We are not here to be mirrored. We are here to be transformed. The next person doesn't reflect your weakness. They feed on it. Dangerous person 5. The Envious Saboteur. Some people don't want your downfall because they hate you. They want it because your rise reminds them of their stagnation. This is the Envious Saboteur. To Jung, envy is a projection of an inner emptiness, a wound they refuse to heal. But instead of working on themselves, they dedicate their energy to destroying what they cannot become. This person may applaud your success with their hands while cursing it with their heart. They will call your discipline obsession, your ambition arrogance, your clarity coldness. Why? Because your growth shames their comfort. Because your excellence reminds them of their choices. Because your strength makes them feel small, and instead of strengthening themselves, they'll try to shrink you. Another person's beauty does not diminish your own. A modern truth, but a Stoic one. The Stoic does not envy. The Stoic is too busy mastering himself to measure himself against others. But he does recognize danger. And envy is danger in its most venomous form, because it hides behind compliments and disguises itself as care. There is nothing more tragic than someone who sabotages you while pretending to support you. They offer help, but it's help that misguides. They listen, but they wait for cracks. They offer advice, but it's designed to derail you. And worst of all, they pretend to be like you. The Stoic cuts no one down, but he doesn't leave the door open for snakes just to prove he has no fear. We must protect our ambition like a sacred flame. Envy will try to smother it with a smile, but a smile can carry a knife. So we move forward. One final figure remains.
Dangerous person 6. The Hollow One. There are people who are not good or bad. They are worse. They are empty. They have no values, no convictions, no inner compass. Their emotions are dictated by trends. Their morals change with company. Their dreams are borrowed. Their opinions are recycled. Carl Jung described these people as those who had never confronted their own shadow. They built no identity, so they became reflections, mimics, echoes of whoever stands closest to them. The Hollow One is not dangerous because of action, but because of absorption. They absorb your energy, your time, your focus, and worst of all, your purpose. But harmony requires depth. It requires stillness. It requires that we know ourselves. And the Hollow One has no such interest. They follow trends, chase pleasures, live on screens, and fear silence. because silence confronts them with their own absence. And in that absence, they are reminded that they are nothing more than a shell painted with pretense. To the Stoic, this is spiritual decay, not because they are flawed, we all are, but because they refuse to confront it. They numb, distract, escape, consume. They are not alive, they are merely functioning. Avoid these people not out of judgment, but out of self-preservation, because hollowness is contagious. The more time you spend with people who believe in nothing, the more you begin to question what you once knew was true. Epictetus once said, "Be careful who you let near your mind." Do not fill your time with noise. Do not fill your circle with emptiness. We are not here to coast. We are here to forge. And that leads us to our final reflection. The fire we keep. We are not born wise. We are born vulnerable, unshaped, untested. But life does not ask our permission to bring pain. And so, we learn to shape ourselves. Carl Jung spent a lifetime studying the human mind. And in his darkest warnings, we find ancient echoes of Stoicism, that there are people who can corrupt not our body, but our judgment, who can't steal our wealth, but can poison our reason, who don't kill us, but slowly drain the soul from our days. And that is the highest danger of all. Because once the soul is weak, everything else crumbles. We have now named the 6. 1. The eternal dictum, who drowns you in their endless need for sympathy. 2. The manipulator in disguise, who smiles while they steer your fate. 3. The chaos bringer, who thrives in disorder and burns your peace for entertainment. 4. The mirror of your weakness, who makes stagnation feel safe. 5. The envious saboteur, who hides a dagger behind false applause. 6. The hollow one, who infects you with meaninglessness.
What do? We do not rage. We do not expose. We do not confront, because that would give them what they want, our emotional surrender. Instead, we live like warriors of the mind. We sharpen our discipline. We master our reactions. We elevate our environment. We cut quietly. We walk away with calm. We do not explain, we become. And so, my friend, protect your peace like a warrior protects his blade. Sharpen your soul until no false friend can touch it. Let your silence burn louder than their chaos. You do not owe anyone access to your mind, especially not the ones who want to break it. Let us rise. Let us stay still. Let us walk forward with our fire intact, because in a world full of noise, envy, weakness, and deception, a calm, principled soul is the rarest and most powerful thing there is.